When I took this course in June 2021, this was the part where things got real, where it was like, oh, I'm going to charge money for this. I'm going to have people calling me and I need to know what I'm talking about. And I didn't know anything about the cleaning industry. I felt like a total imposter. I was an imposter, basically. But Kevin and Rohan was teaching the course with him. He's the one who wrote this epic Reddit thread 12 years ago about starting a modern cleaning company like we have today. They told us, my cohort, pricing, you're going to be working on it all the time. It's not permanent. You're not writing things in stone here. So we can be cool. Another thing Kevin said was if 10% of your customers aren't complaining that you're too expensive, you're too cheap. So if someone calls you and you tell them your price and they, whoa, that's so expensive. That doesn't mean everyone thinks your prices are too expensive. That means that one person thinks your prices are too expensive. Start hearing that from all the people who are calling you, your prices might be too expensive. But you definitely want to hear it from some people. Another thing that they said was when we do our research, you're hopefully have going to remembered what Vicky said to do, which was to ask for prices. How much does it cost? And hopefully you did it with the same size house throughout those top 10 companies. Okay. So you asked 10 companies in your area how much they charge to clean a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, a 2,000 square foot, 3 bedroom, whatever you decide to ask them. And you're going to set your price at 75% of the most expensive one. We are not racing to the bottom here. You are offering a really, really good service. This is a premium service. People are going to be sent reminders. You're going to have excellent communication. Your cleaners are going to have their acts together. They're going to know exactly what they're doing. You guarantee the clean. If they miss something, and that's okay, they're human beings. They're allowed to miss something. But if they do, they go back and they fix it the next day. So this is a real company. This is a real thing you're doing. So don't think, oh, I need to be the cheapest in town. You do not want to be the cheapest in town. No, you don't. You don't want to be the cheapest in town because you don't want to deal with people who essentially don't respect cleaning as a service, who are nickel and diming you, but everything. You want to just goodbye. You want to avoid those kind of customers. You also want to make sure that your prices are high enough that you can pay your cleaners enough that they'll want to stay with you. You're not just some last ditch stop on their road to something better. You want to be, yeah, I want to keep working with these people. They're great. So you need to be able to pay them well. So your prices need to be high enough. And on the flip side, you don't want to be the most expensive in town because you're not going to get any bookings. You're not going to have many reviews, if any, at the beginning. So people are naturally not going to really trust you. And then if you come in like way higher than everyone else, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Once you figure out what everybody else is charging, the most expensive, you wanna be 75, maybe 80% of what they're charging. With regards to how to price your jobs, we recommend doing by the job pricing, not by the hour. And we recommend that for a number of reasons. One, not all cleaners work at the same rate. You're going to see some of the more experienced cleaners who've been cleaning for 5, 10 years, like they have their systems down. They know what they are doing. They walk into a room and they they see what needs to be done and they focus and they get it done. A more inexperienced cleaner is going to take longer. Cleaner who can get through twice as much as another cleaner in the same day shouldn't be making the same money. If they're constrained to an hourly rate, they make the same money as someone who can only do 1.5 apartments. Say your cleaner can do 3 apartments, this other cleaner can only do 1.5, and they're getting the same rate of pay. That's not fair. That's ridiculous. So that's why we do by the job pricing. Not all of your clients are going to understand this at first. They're going to think cleaners get paid by the hour. That's how it is. So just be aware of that. You might have to explain to them why you use by the job pricing. But, most of them are going to be totally cool. If you can explain it like, well, hairdressers don't charge by the hour, they charge by the job. You're paying for our cleaners' skills. And it's also hard to find good cleaners in town. Just phrase it like that. And most of them are going to be like, oh, yeah, okay, that totally makes sense. It's not going to be a big deal. It might seem like it's going to be a big deal to you right now where you are, but by the time you're ready to go, ready to launch, you're going to feel so much more confident in this. So we're just starting it right now, early in the course, so you can get your research done, figure out your price, and get all this going as you're working on your website. Like we have a purpose here, so just trust the process. I know I keep saying that. Just trust. We're doing it. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's get into ConvertLabs and start putting our prices in. Okay, so you find your pricing where you set your pricing down here on your ConvertLabs dashboard in settings. This is not in your website. It's in your dashboard at ConvertLabs settings. And here it is, services. So these come preloaded. 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, blah, 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 all the way down and then down to. They do offer an hourly service option, which I'll get to. So it's already set with some prices. So if you want to switch them around, you go over here to the three dots, you hit edit service, and then you can change your price here. You can set your time. Now, this is really so this is just for you in your calendar where you're going to see all your cleaners' bookings. It's going to block that time off so your cleaner can't get rebooked during this 90-minute period. And all of the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, like all of these have 90 minutes as their base. So you're going to need to definitely go in there and adjust those. And then the prices, they've got it set at 129. This may be too expensive or it may be too cheap. Remember, you've got your research in hand and that's going to help you figure that out. This is just for the apartment. This does not include the bathroom. So the bathrooms are here under pricing parameters and you can set your price for how much you want to charge per bathroom. So a 1 bedroom is 129 plus $29 for the bathroom. And then here under frequencies, this is where you set your discounts. We have monthly set at 10% off, biweekly at 15% off, and weekly at 20% off. This will depend on where you live, what the going rates are in your city. You'll want to stick with what's standard in your area. You can see all these extras listed here. So inside the fridge, inside the oven. We also offer inside a full fridge because there's a big difference between cleaning an empty fridge and then a full fridge where all the stuff has to come out and then all be put back in. So we charge extra for inside a full fridge. We make that distinction. You can find all of your extras listed here under extras. There's some prices already loaded in. These are all pretty good. We don't charge for changing linen. Maybe we should. Interesting. See, I'm learning all the time too. We only charge $10 a window. We got to raise our prices, I think. Anyway, so you can edit the extra if you want to, and you can make it quantity based because sometimes they'll have two fridges. Like they'll have a fridge upstairs and downstairs. So you can change it to quantity based, and then you can change the price if you want. And you just hit update and then it'll show up. So it's pretty self explanatory. So when you go to oakbayclean.com, our pricing, we have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom apartment. And then after that, we start doing square footage. So you can contact the team if you want to do that. It depends on where you live. Like if you're in a place where you're going to be mostly doing apartments, maybe just leave it the way they've got it right now. We just decided to do square footage because like someone can have a 4 bedroom, 6,000 square foot house and someone can have a 4 bedroom, 2,000 square foot house. And there is a big difference between the amount of time and effort it takes to clean those two things. And then the hourly service. So we do offer hourly service, even though I just went on earlier about why we shouldn't do it, why we want to do job-based pricing. Sometimes you just need to do hourly service. So like if we're doing a post-construction, we do hourly because you just don't know what it's going to be like. Sometimes a cleaner will arrive at a place and it is a disaster. And it doesn't matter if you've added on, like we have a first time clean, you're going to see it as a deep clean. Even if you add on the first time clean or a deep clean, it's still not going to be enough. Like it's like some places are just oh, bad. That it's just not fair to the cleaner to have that. So we'll call the client and we'll switch it to hourly. And we charge 75 an hour. Just depends on your city, your town. 75 an hour is pretty high. Like there's no cleaner advertising on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist for $75 an hour. Theirs is usually around 45, but we want it so that the cleaner still gets their 45 an hour and then we get paid as well. So that's why we have it at 75. You will be stunned how many people are like, yeah, sure, fine. That sounds great. Don't balk at all. Some people are like, whoa, that's so expensive. But so many are just like, okay, yeah, great. So don't be afraid to have that as an option, like the base rate in your city plus your 40% on top. Okay. So that's what we do. And we're also trying to discourage hourly jobs. So that's also why we make it so high. Yeah. And then we also, as an extra, we have a downtown street parking fee just because in our city, there's no parking. It's really expensive. And the cleaners were starting to kick up a stink about having to go downtown and pay for parking. So we added this. We have any other weird extras? Oh, we have a next day booking fee. So you can set it up in yours to do a same day booking fee where you can set, I'll show it to you in a second, but we also have a next day booking fee. And it's an extra 75 bucks because we got to scramble. We got to scramble. When a client comes up and they're like, oh, it's an emergency, da da da, we charge them 75 extra dollars because we're going to be shuffling people around and it's a big pain in the butt. And then also for our regular clients, we can waive it. We'll be like, oh, we'll waive that for you. Don't worry. So that makes them feel special. In here under payment, this is where if you click this one, manual hold, this turns it off. So you automatically, when a client puts down their credit card, a hold goes on the card the day before to make sure they have enough money to cover the clean. This is very important. Make sure you check that every night. Most people are really great. They're great. They honor their commitments. They're amazing to work with. They're all awesome. But every now and again, you'll get a person who has no problem stealing from you. They just have no problem not paying for a job. So you make sure you get those holds. Trust us, trust us. And so then this is an auto charge setting. We don't have this on because with first time clients, we like to check in with them and make sure everything went okay. Let's say their appointment went till 6 o'clock at night. We'll check in with them the next day before we hit charge card in case that like something went wrong or there was a problem and we got to go back for a reclaim. So we have that off. Here you figure out what your sales tax is and you add it. And I would label it whatever the sales tax is, whatever it's called. We have a same day booking fee, of course, and we have it at I think it's 50%. Yeah, it's 50%. So if somebody calls us and they're like, cleaning emergency, first of all, there's no such thing as a cleaning emergency. But okay, you get a really stressed, super stressed client, they call, they need a cleaner today. It's going to cost them an extra 50% because, again, we have to scramble and figure it all out. And usually, when someone's in that state, they assume you're going to charge them that. So make sure you put that in for really good clients. If you've got a realtor that you're working with all the time and they're bringing you tons of business, you can waive that fee. But you know who loves this? Cleaners, because they're making an extra 50% that day. So it's great. And then a cancellation charge. We have ours, it's within 24 hours and we do $79. Remove frequency discount on first booking. We have this checked just because we found we were getting people booking, weekly cleans where they get a 20% discount and then they would call us and say, "Oh, actually we're not going to move forward." And so they get this discount and we do a one-time clean. So we have this turned on. You decide what you want to do. I think that's that with pricing. Just remember, this is a living document. You're going to be shifting things around a little bit. You don't want to do it too much, but you're not going to set your prices now and then in 4 years' time be at the same rates. You got to find the balance between keeping your cleaners happy, keeping your clients happy. So you're gonna have to remain flexible. So good luck on your pricing adventure. I will see you tomorrow when we talk about designing your logo.